Hi everyone, this is your overview for week 6 in English 101, College Composition. Here is your to-do list. You'll see that you have a little chunk of reading there to do in your textbook. This chapter 6, is called Making and Supporting Claims. Now, some of you actually might have seen me make a comment in your paper, like maybe I highlighted something and I said, this claim needs to be supported with evidence. So in a minute, we'll talk about what that means. What does it mean to make a claim as part of an academic argument? You're also going to put together the rough draft of your analysis and synthesis paper. I think a lot of you have a very good start on that. You've already identified the third resource that you're going to use, and I've made comments about whether that's an appropriate one to use or whether you might have to go find another one. But I know that you've been thinking a lot about the key things that you want to extract from these readings in order to put together this article. So Wednesday, rough draft, post that. Please make sure it's complete. You have an introduction, a body, a good conclusion. Don't worry too much right now about your citations. That will be something that you really need to focus on for your final submission, which will be next week. And then you'll be offering peer review to 2 other people. We'll see if Canvas can get on the ball and assign everybody 2 people to peer review. I think I might have worked out the kinks. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Rough draft and peer review. We use the word argument a little bit differently in academic writing than you might use it in your everyday conversation. So it doesn't mean, yelling at somebody or fighting or conflict. It simply means a conversation where there are differing points of view or perspectives. And so that is exactly what you're doing with this paper. You've got some professionals in the field who are experts who have done some research, and you're taking their information. Now, some of it might not quite agree with each other, and that's okay. That's the point of looking at all of these different sources. And then you are going to add your voice and perspective to the conversation as well. So your academic argument could be seen as your stance, the claims you are making, your take on this topic for the purposes of this paper. Now, I just want to make sure you understand that doesn't necessarily mean your opinion. It means your carefully thought out, very discerning perspective on this topic based on maybe your personal experience, but also all of the things that you've read. So you take in all of this information, you think about it, you sort of put it through the filter of your personal experience, and then you come out with a very knowledgeable perspective or stance on this particular topic. And that's your contribution to this conversation. When we say claim has actually a lot of different definitions, but for our purposes, it's just a statement. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. It's something that we are asserting that can be supported with credible evidence. So if I say the sun will rise at 5:42 a.m. this morning, I'm making a claim, and I can back that up with credible and reliable evidence. All right? So you are going to be making some claims based on what you're reading in these sources. And that's why citing your sources is so important, to show your readers that the evidence you are using is sound, it's reliable. One more thing I want to talk about before I stop today. Part of the instructions for this assignment said it must include a thesis statement. Now, I'm relying on the fact that you have written thesis statements before, right? But let's just go over one more time what exactly goes into a good thesis statement. It needs to be specific. It needs to tell your readers exactly what you will be covering in your paper. And so because of that, it's almost always positioned very close to the beginning of a paper. So in your introduction, you lay the groundwork, you create the context for the facts that are going to come later. And usually at the end of the introduction, whether that's 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs, you summarize basically what you are going to cover. You don't, it's not like, a movie review where you don't want to, include a spoiler, right? This is different. You need to include everything in the thesis that you're going to cover. And the thing is, a thesis is a great tool to help you stay on track. When you get tempted to go off in all different directions, your thesis statement will always keep bringing you back, which isn't to say that the thesis statement cannot be changed. So let's say that as a part of your research, you do find another avenue, to pursue some new information, and you include that as part of your argument. You do need to go back and tinker with your thesis statement just a little bit to make sure that it accurately reflects the content of your paper. Okay, I hope that helps you out. Join me for office hours on chat in Canvas every Tuesday between 12 noon and 2, that's Pacific time. Remember, you can also contact me through the inbox feature or through my email. Let me know if you have any questions at all about this assignment. Okay, have a great week.